Hello and welcome to this Python tutorial. So in the previous tutorial we visualized the polynomial regression results and we compared them to the linear regression results to eventually realize that the polynomial regression model fits much better to our data set and our problem than the linear regression model. And now we just have one final step to do, and that is in this step that we're going to be able to say truth or bluff by predicting the previous salary of this new employee that, as a reminder, told us that its previous salary was 160K, and so we'll compare this value to our prediction, and that's where we'll be able to conclude if this employee was bluffing. Okay, so let's first predict this result with the linear regression model. So it's actually really simple. What we have to do is use the predict method of our linreg object from our linear regression class, and we actually already use this predict method. It's right here in the visualization of the linear regression results. As you can see here, we are using the predict method to predict the salaries of each of the position level contained in the matrix X. So we're going to take this predict method again, and actually we're going to take this line, only this part of this line containing the predict method. We're going to copy this and we will paste it here to predict the previous salary of this new employee. So this member of the HR team identified that this employee was level 6.5. So here, very simply, instead of predicting the values of X, because by inputting X here, this line of code linreg.predictX will return the 10 predictions of the 10 position levels contained in X. But we can also use this predict method to predict only one salary, only one value, and very simply, instead of putting a matrix here, the matrix X, we can simply put what we actually want to predict, that is the level 6.5. All right, and that will return the predicted salary corresponding to this level 6.5. So let's check it out. Let's see what our linear regression model predicts as the salary of a 6.5 level. So we're going to select this and press Command and Control plus Enter to execute. And we get $330,000. And that's actually what we expected, because if we go back to the linear regression results plot, we can see that indeed for the 6.5 level here, well, if we want to get the predicted salary of the 6.5 level, we need to go up to the blue straight line here because it corresponds to the predictions, and then we need to project it on the salary axis, and we get indeed, as you can see, around $330,000. Okay, but that's the linear regression results. So that's definitely not the best model for our problem in our data set. So we are definitely not going to take this prediction by the linear regression model as a relevant factor of the negotiation, because right now we are negotiating with this future new employee and negotiating its future salary that is obviously based on its previous salary. So this is definitely not relevant. But now what is going to be relevant is the prediction by the polynomial regression model. And so let's predict the salary of level 6.5 according to the polynomial regression model. Okay, so to get this prediction, we're going to do the same thing as for linear regression. That is, we're going to take this part of this code here that visualizes the polynomial regression results. And this part actually is the part that predicts whatever we want. So we're going to copy this and paste it here. And same here, we will not predict all the salaries of the position levels contained in X. We are just interested in the prediction of the 6.5 level salary. So here we'll replace X by 6.5. So let's recap before getting the verdict about truth or bluff. Okay, so this future employee said that its previous salary was 160K. The linear regression model predicted that its previous salary was 330K. And now what is our polynomial regression model going to say? Let's see. Press Command and Control plus Enter to execute. And the result is 158K. So $2,000 below the salary mentioned by this future employee. So actually the verdict is truth and honesty. Great, so that's great for this big company who I'm sure will be happy to get a new honest employee in the company. And so now the HR team is happy about this result, even if it found this idea a little weird at the beginning. So I guess this is the end of this section about polynomial regression on Python. Now we're going to do the same thing on R for those of you who are also interested in R. So we're going to do the same steps, and it's going to be actually quite the same technique, and we'll see if we get the same predictions. Hopefully we do. So thank you very much for watching these tutorials. I hope you now understand well polynomial regression. I just want to say that, this is the beginning of this course. We're still shaping our intuition and expertise of machine learning. So I wanted to use this simple example, to get some visual results and some visual graphics. But I know that some of you are expecting more real-world business-related problems. Well, don't worry, you'll get that. As soon as we get the basics of machine learning, we will apply it to real-world data sets with all the complexities that it involves. So don't worry, we'll get to that. And until then, enjoy machine learning.